That's what they say, and we've had plenty of people showing weaknesses, plenty of people showing incredible strengths and feats of bravery and achievements on the track today. And well, I want to tell you what it's like. It's cold, but it's cold wherever. I think back in Europe at the moment. It's dry. It's very dry, as in it's not raining, and it's very dry, as in you always need to have a Lipsil or a chapstick. Other brands are available in your pocket. It's sort of arid as it is in the desert. So we've got all the casinos around here. There's the Venetian, you can see over there. There's the Horseshoe. There's Paris, Texas. Sorry, not Paris. Paris, Nevada. Paris. There's Planet Hollywood, the Cosmopolitan over there. Aria, Bellagio. You can just see Bellagio sticking up in the middle with the fountains off of Oceans 11 and 12 and 13 probably. That's not a casino. I think there's a load of apartment blocks. And then it gets to the Paddock and the Paddock Club. This huge building. It's a permanent building, and I think it's used for the rest of the year for anything. This big Vegas sign that everybody is taking pictures in front of. Then there's the energy station over here. So the Red Bull energy station, that's I think EDM music producer extraordinaire, composer Deadmau5 is playing on there yesterday as well as tonight down at the Resorts World Zouk Club. I think they've shipped the usual Red Bull energy station, you know, the wooden house that we see at the Austrian Grand Prix and everything, over here and put it up. And it's operated by Red Bull USA, and they're just using it for all their guests. So it's all big on corporate hospitality and guests, you know that. They have finally sold all the tickets for race day. I don't think all the tickets for all the days have sold out. It is expensive in every way for everything. And, you know, that's just Vegas. Is it well attended? Yes, it is. Is it weird or living in the dark? Yeah, but that's the deal they have with the city, that they don't want to close the strip for too long. And that's why they keep the strip open for all the traffic and everything in the daytime, and then they have to close it and then check the track is okay, and all that takes time, and then finally they open it for Formula One. All right, lads? Oh, something's going on here. And then you come into the paddock, and it's all very busy. There's the press conference room. There's the sign, the famous "Welcome to Las Vegas" sign. They can change it. It says Formula One at the moment. They can change it according to which driver comes in, and I'm sure they will change it tomorrow to Las Vegas welcomes, or welcome to wonderful Las Vegas, pole sitter George Russell. And let's have a look at him in his Ice Station Zebra anorak, as portrayed by the team's fashion sponsor Tommy Hilfiger. Or should it be, do you remember the opening scenes to the James Bond film The Spy Who Loved Me? I think it was that, where Roger Moore is going down the Alps chased by the Russian agents that turn out to be the husband of the Russian agent Zebra, or whatever he gets together with later on. That's basically the Roger Moore ski jacket. Sorry to be an accidental partridge here, is the one that George Russell and all the Mercedes guys are wearing this weekend. But they won't mind, because they have been the informed team. And how is this in Formula One, I hear you ask? That they can go from the Brazilian Grand Prix, where it's hot, the circuit layout is tight and twisty, and they can be, you know, one of the worst cars on the grid. I've never driven a car this bad. L. Hamilton, Brazil, 2 weeks ago, to now being, well, I mean, you know, Russell led Q1, Hamilton led Q2, and then Lewis messed up on his last chance and ended up 10th, but could have been, if Lewis had just repeated his qualifying 2 time, he would have been 3rd on the grid. So that just underlines you know, the mess up. And it was Lewis's mess up. I mean, sorry, I'll get on to George in a second. But, yeah, it was just that he lost the rear end. Yep, that was a big mess up, they said on the radio. And it means that he didn't actually get a lap together, and he is P10 because he had not completed it on the first run. It was all down to the last attempt. And when you do that, you run the risk of not having a banker lap, which of course he didn't, and then ended up P10. Are we all waiting here for George, Charlotte? Is he coming in? Are we ready to do some stuff with him?
It's going straight to partner appearances.
A partner appearance? there's the glamour of Formula One. Hey, congratulations on pole position. Get up to the sponsors. Are they still here?
Yeah.
Oh, good. I'm glad they are, like us. Yeah, so okay, he's going straight to the sponsors. And yeah, lots of famous faces around here. Mr. I am. But yeah, it's listen, it's a weird turnaround. I wouldn't say that if you took the car back to Brazil right now, it would be on pole. Obviously, it wouldn't. But on a dusty track, and that doesn't reward any, a car giving good grip, it just seems to be that the Mercedes is fast. Has the Mercedes benefited from the technical directive about skid blocks, meaning that maybe some teams weren't able to run their car low? That is a rumour around here. The suggestion is that Ferrari are the ones who've suffered most from that technical directive. Certainly their team boss Fred Vasseur was the most annoyed about it, but I don't think we can say definitively. But yeah, so just to give you the deets, it's Lewis Hamilton 10th and George Russell 1st. George Russell in his position as Secretary or Chairman of the GPDA, the Grand Prix Drivers Association, was talking about the letter that they penned to the FIA President Mohammed Ben Sulayem and what it was and what they were upset about. George just saying, look, it's been a bit of a, not only are they getting rid of their Michael Massey, Eduardo Freitas, Niels Wittich, third race director, they're now on their fourth in recent years with Rui Marquez, but there seems to be a fixation on small, insignificant things, pants piercings, things like that, swearing, rather than the big issues of Formula One. So that's really what the drivers want to, they say, help with, but make no mistake, they are bringing, a bit of fight to that particular political battle at the moment. But as for Niels Wittich, the race director, or ex-race director, I'm not buying, well, nobody's really buying the fact that he was, parted company in a equal way or a friendly way, not least because Niels Wittich came out and has said to the media that he was fired, and he doesn't really know why, and we don't know why either. So that's clearly a story that is still to come. Right, is Pierre Gasly still there, Pete? Yes, he is. Let's do Pierre Gasly, because that is the feel-good story of the day, following up from their feel-good result in Brazil a couple of weeks ago. And I know it seems odd to do Alpine now, but because he's here, we will. Esteban Ocon, P11, Gasly, P3. And, yeah, Ocon, we're 0.4 of a second off where we should be, he said on the radio rather cryptically, even though the teams say the cars are identical. But it was a good lap, that's all there was. Gasly gave a little telegraph as to how quick he would be with a P4 in Q2. And then he really delivered with a P3 in Q3 as well, maybe taking advantage of Lewis messing his lap up. But anyway, it was a great result, especially as he hit the wall after his first go and had to get the car checked out. I think that was towards the end of Q2, actually. But yeah, a good recovery. And yeah, after their Brazil boost, a great starting position where they can get some more points, because that in the constructors is very tight. 49 points have Alpine now. Haas have 46, and RB, Toro Rosso AlphaTauri, the teams formerly named after, have 44. So that is really, really tight in the constructors. Cadillac I've written down here because there is some potential link-up between the Renault team, or the Alpine team, the engine program and the intellectual property that they had ready to go for 2026 that might be transferred at some point to Cadillac and General Motors. And who are they all screaming? Oh, that's probably George, who's gone off to his partner appearance. Or is it the F1 movie cars coming out? I'll get onto the F1 movie later. They have been very much in evidence, still shooting here this weekend. But Cadillac, it seems, and you might have thought that this is just gravity, that they're going to end up in Formula One eventually, even though Formula One management and all the other teams say, well, it's not going to be our money, some of which they get. It's just a matter of gravity that they're going to end up in F1 at the moment, and it seems that whether it's the departure of Greg Maffei from Liberty or the departure of the Andrettis from the bid and the cementation of the fact that it's just going to be Cadillac and General Motors, then it seems that something has changed in the last few weeks, and it looks like we will, after all, have a new team in Formula One. Well, hey! And it's going to be Cadillac, and they're going to have one American driver, perhaps Colton Herta, maybe somebody else, and one driver, maybe the likes of, who doesn't have a drive at the moment, maybe Colapinto or Valtteri Bottas or somebody like that. So excitement is ahead with Cadillac coming in to Formula One. Wait for the announcement, but it seems to be happening. Right, we've done, let's do Red Bull because they're over here, Pete. You can, and this is the one of the activation stands, and they're selling chilled water. They don't have to put it in a fridge. I assume you don't have a fridge back there?
No, we don't. We have an ice bucket.
Perfect, which I imagine has stayed completely icy for the whole of the weekend so far. But there are various bits of Evian water that you can get. Pomegranate, sorry.
We have sparkling and still, and we're making mocktails.
Mocktails, fantastic, brilliant. Okay, well, I'll come back later. Sparkling, I didn't know Evian did sparkling water. Is that a new thing?
It is not a new thing.
Evian's a flat water. What's that all about? Things in America. Evian fizzy water. It's a still water. Odd. Well, that's marketing. They got me. Right. Sorry, I've lost my thread. Right, yeah, Red Bull. Max Verstappen 5th. Sergio Perez 16th, and Sergio very much driving to survive. A decent result from a difficult weekend for Max Verstappen. They thinned out quite literally. They drilled out their rear wing, and with that making the car a little less draggy, they dragged it very much into Q3, and Max dragged it onto P5 on the grid. But Checo hasn't been confident in the car. Sorry, don't mind me. Did you know that Evian did sparkling water? With your digestive biscuit? No. Okay, good. It's really difficult now. Checo hasn't been confident in the car all weekend. He's lacking rear grip. Didn't find any grip with the changes. Got understeer and was out in Q1. And that's really difficult, both for his seat and for Red Bull's Constructors Championship as well. The Max permutations is that he just needs to finish ahead of Lando Norris. If him and Lando finish where they start on the grid, then he will win his 4th consecutive World Championship, and we will all party late into the morning on Saturday. Right, that is Red Bull done. Anything else I need to tell you about on that? The Monza wing, yes, I've said about that, the permutations, and the Sergio Perez, difficulties. We've done Mercedes. Should we do Ferrari, and then we'll take a break? Carlos Sainz really getting the edge on Charles Leclerc when it looked like Leclerc was the man in form, but what a smooth operator Carlos Sainz is. And by the way, did you know that at the Aria Casino, which is down there somewhere, tonight, Carlos Sainz is hosting a 12-hour rave. There's the Smooth Operator Lounge. It's on a big billboard as you leave Las Vegas Airport, and they probably started now, and it's going until 2 p.m. in the afternoon. Carlos, at some point, after he's done briefing and everything, is going to make an appearance there, apparently. And there's 12 hours Carlos Sainz branded Smooth Operator rave. I know, Formula One. But anyway, he missed out on a fantastic last lap, missed out by 0.098, so 98 thousandths of a second. Leclerc was very frustrated. The car felt completely different, said the Monegasque, and I don't know why, but it's... with their big badge on their baseball caps didn't help Charles Leclerc, but they have a great opportunity, Ferrari, of closing down the lead that McLaren have in the Constructors' Championship, and McLaren should be very worried, really, about Ferrari's qualifying today, because if it finishes where they qualify, then McLaren are going to take a big hit in the Constructors, a lead that they don't want to lose. Second and fourth, very good result for Ferrari. Is Riccardo Adami, Carlos Sainz's engineer at the moment, going to be Lewis Hamilton's engineer at Ferrari next year? I asked Fred Vasseur. I expected him to say yes, he is. Fred Vasseur didn't say that. Fred Vasseur said, I don't know, we're going to have to discuss it over the winter. Ooh, so is there going to be some engineering switch in the teams around the place? We will have to see. Right, 50 minutes gone. I'm going to find out some more about sparkling water. In the meantime, let's take a break. time, but yeah, it was a good lap, but 4/10 off getting into Q2. Fernando Alonso wasn't happy with a messy session. Leclerc went off in front of him, caused a yellow flag. That prevented Alonso from getting back ahead of the Ferrari and then doing his own lap. So Lance Stroll 20th, Fernando Alonso 17th. Yeah, there's nothing really much more to say, apart from they have a new sponsor who they've welcomed into the team, a Scotch whisky company that you can see on the front wing end plate. So more money coming into the Aston Martin team. Here is Alpine, and we've already done them, haven't we, with Esteban Ocon and Pierre Gasly. Jack Doohan, I will do you a little line on that, is somewhere around here and isn't happy apparently about all the rumours that Franco Colapinto is going to come and take the second Alpine seat before Jack Doohan has even turned a wheel. And I asked Oliver Oakes about this, and he said, look, this is completely false. Jack Doohan will be our driver. There is Oliver Oakes on the sofa there. Jack Doohan will be our driver alongside Pierre Gasly next year, and any of these rumours that Colapinto is going to come in, or anybody else, or Jack Doohan's only got 5 races to prove himself, or anything that is complete nonsense. Jack's our man, and he'll be in the car, which is good for Jack, because he hasn't had a chance to prove himself yet. What's the point in saying that he won't be there before he's even turned a wheel? We'll discuss that later. Now, oi, Franco, what have you done? Well, he was pushing. You know, when you're into Q2 and the weekend's going well, the qualifying's going well, and you think, let's just give it one more push at the end of Q2 to try and get into Q3, you do crash. And actually, it's difficult. They might not be able to fix the car. It looks like it's a chassis change. They do have a spare chassis, but I don't know whether they have all the bits that needs to go on the spare chassis to get the car ready. It's going to be really difficult. Join us tomorrow morning, because I'm not sure whether Franco Colapinto will be able to do the Las Vegas Grand Prix tomorrow. And if he can, it'll be more of a miracle than it's been in the Williams factory of them turning around both cars, because there is a lot of damage, and I think it's too much. They're low on parts, despite what they've been saying. But yeah, I think it's going to be really difficult. Alex Albon wasn't much better session for him, even though he didn't crash. 18th for Alex Albon, 14th on the grid if they managed to fix his car. But Franco Colapinto, 14th. Great lap from him to get into Q2 anyway. In Q1, he's P9. Alex Albon's frustrated and out in Q1 after he had a time deleted. Got bad traffic, 3/10 off getting into Q2. Frank Colapinto was P14, gave it everything on the last run and crashed after clipping the wall, Monaco style, and meaning that he didn't have any control over his front left tyre, and then into the wall. Is there any commonality as to why the Williams drivers crash their cars all the time? We asked Alex Albon this on Wednesday, the media day. Alex said no, there is no common cause as to why we have all these crashes with this car. It isn't an inherently nervous car that means we just keep not being able to control it and putting it into the wall. But you've got to ask the question, why do these guys keep crashing? Some RB team members here just taking the air, and yeah, it's been a decent day for them. Good recovery after an extremely difficult free practice 1. Yuki Tsunoda P7, Liam Lawson P15, and yeah, ciao. RB mechanic there. And Liam had a scare in turn 12, but scraped into Q2 by 0.07 of a second, punting out his old mate Sergio Perez. Yuki was P10 and then P8 in Q2 and into Q3. So yeah, great result from Yuki Tsunoda. Vegas, baby, he said with his engineer on the radio. A good turnaround. And even though Liam was out in Q2, they've got some good chance of scoring some good points tomorrow. Liam was asked about this thing about, he was asking in a podcast a rhetorical question about why McLaren doesn't play the Kiwi, the New Zealand national anthem, when they win a race. Obviously, it's pointed out to him that when Bruce McLaren established the McLaren team, he did it as a British team, and that's really the answer to that. Although it's a nice idea, when McLaren do win a race, they might as well, see if they do want to go back to racing under Kiwi license. But even though Bruce McLaren, of course, was a New Zealander, proud Kiwi, he did Start McLaren is a British company, so that's why they do it. And Red Bull is an Austrian company, so that's why they play the Austrian national anthem. So that is that particular one explained. Sauber, Valtteri Bottas P19. Zhou Guanyu, great result for him, P13. Bottas, super messy with traffic and out by 0.4 of a second, but Zhou great in Q1 and into Q2 for the first time in ages, just a few hundredths in front of Liam Lawson. Valtteri Bottas has made some What's Next sweatshirts and has donating the profits to them to a charity that supports people who've been sacked unexpectedly from their jobs, which is just chef's kiss. So if you can, buy one of Valtteri's What's Next sweatshirts. I think they're only available here in, they might be online as a limited edition, because they go to a charity for people who've found themselves suddenly, unexpectedly unemployed, like, of course, Valtteri has done. And we will finish with, and of course, the Zhou's over for next year. Zhou Guanyu looking like he's going to be a reserve driver for Ferrari. We'll finish with a line on Haas F1 because we run out of time. Nico Hülkenberg, P9, both left it late in Q1, did one run in Q1, P11 and P13. Magnussen couldn't make it into Q3 by a couple of tenths, but Hülkenberg could finish P9, 300th second behind Oscar Piastri. Wow. Nico Hülkenberg ahead of Lewis Hamilton. All right, Hamilton made a mistake. And finishing 300th second behind Oscar Piastri. Good effort. Nico Hülkenberg and Haas look to be able to score some points tomorrow in their own fight against Alpine and RB in the Constructors. So you need to find out, you need to watch us early in the morning. There's the garage for Apex Grand Prix, or F1 movie, or whatever it's called these days, or when it comes out next year. So they've been filming here as well. Max might be able to take the championship. In fact, he's in a pretty good position to do it with McLaren having a bad day. So get up early, join us at 4:30 in the morning for the race build-up. And if you can't do that, make sure you join us at just before 6 a.m. for the lights out and away we go, because around this circuit, anything happens. Right, that's it for us. We're going to find out some things that will stay in Vegas, but we'll see you bright and early Sunday morning. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.